The mutant community has been fractured since the end of Krakoa, and now it's up to Forge to use his amazing brain to help put it all back together. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of X-Force issue number 1 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join this brand new series, courtesy of Jeffrey Thorne, we see a depressed and dejected Forge drowning his sorrows by watching holographic recreations of the X-Men during better days. You can tell he's in a dark place too because he's decided to regrow and let free his glorious 90s era hair again. Why is he so upset? Well, it should be obvious, right? The Krakoan dream is no more, and now mutant kind has been absolutely scattered to the four winds. But Forge is a creator, a scientist, a thinker, and he's not going to let any of this get him down. He's going to do what he always does when the going gets tough: build a solution. To do this, Forge has opted to build on an old concept by Beast. Remember, before he got all blue and fuzzy, he was already incredibly smart, and in his own attempt to try and cure his own mutation, he ended up only making himself stronger and bluer. Forge wants to do the same thing. He hopes that if he tries hard enough, he can actually jumpstart his own Omega Mutant level ascension. And you know what? This crazy idea damn near works. Forge ends up touching divinity itself and seeing the universe in a way he could never perceive before eventually ending up coming crashing down to Earth. Forge might not be an Omega mutant, but this experiment has given him one Omega level idea, and that is to create a brand new device called the Analog. What is it? Well, basically a tiny little globe representative of the Earth itself. Every so often, cracks begin to form in it, letting Forge know that possible world-ending disasters are about to take place. And because mutant kind will never be able to get back on its feet if the Earth is destroyed, Forge has taken it upon himself to deal with these problems proactively. Of course, he can't do it all on his own, and because of that, he decides to recruit a brand new X-Force team. Helping fill out the ranks are Sage, who is obviously a major part of the last incarnation of X-Force and all of their many successes. Unfortunately, the failure of Krakoa has hit Sage pretty damn hard as she's in a Lake Geneva asylum. Luckily, though, Forge's new world-ending threats give Sage just what she's been looking for: a big problem to wrap her brain around. Yes, I also throw myself into my work when I'm depressed. It's a great coping mechanism, let me tell ya. The new X-Force's mission has taken them all the way to a small prefecture in Japan. It's here they show off their brand new crimson red costumes, which are apparently so smart they can actually contort to a person's body for the perfect fit and even offer up special stealth settings for missions just like this one. Now, obviously, 2 people does not a brand new X-Men team make, and so filling out the roster we have BETSY BRADDOCK, Captain Britain, offering up some much-needed magic muscle, as well as Rachel Summers offering up all the telepathic, telekinetic, mental muscle you could ask for. X-Force's target, we learn in Japan, is some sort of strange scientific facility. Outside, everything is abandoned except for some odd blue goo that seems to be coating the entire area. Forge and the others go to investigate when they end up coming face to face with none other than Surge, and man, it's really cool to see her right here, right now in the main universe, because she's actually been getting a huge push over in the Ultimate X-Men books, and I just think it's funny now that she's on the rise in 2 different universes. Surge, we learn, had actually returned home to Japan to visit her cousins after Krakoa ended up blowing up. She assumed things would be nice and quiet for a bit. Unfortunately, though, when you're an X-Men, problems always seem to find you no matter where you go. We actually learn in this issue too, apparently mutants and especially the X-Men aren't exactly welcome in most places. The general populace is either afraid and distrustful of them at best and treating them as wanted criminals at worst. It seems the blue goo is actually at the center of all of these problems right now. It recongeals and turns into gross mush monsters to fight our heroes. Luckily, though, they don't have to fight alone, as they end up getting some last-second reinforcements by the merc with the mouth himself, Deadpool. In a wonderful bit of fourth wall-breaking, Wade is sure to mention that he's only here right now as part of his contractually obligated pre-movie cameo appearance, and that he's not really an official member of the team per se, but that X-Force is actively paying him right now to help out. Also, while he doesn't get a cool introduction like the rest, Tank is here as well. If you don't remember this character, he was invented over in the short-lived Eval Ewing Ironheart series. Tank's got a cool design, and his general aesthetic actually really matches the rest of the X-Force team, so you know, I dig it. The big twist here is that this Japanese company just so happens to be a shell corp for the old Essex group, meaning that Mr. Sinister's dirty fingerprints are all over this place. It seems that these goo monsters are actually the end results of ungodly experiments trying to fuse together mutant genes and alien material. And, because this adventure is taking place in Japan right now, obviously all the goo monsters have to come together and form one giant, massive kaiju goo creature. How the hell are the good guys gonna take this thing down? Well, Forge ends up coming up with one hell of an idea involving Deadpool. After all, Wade is like, 90% cancer? And we've seen these goo monsters absorb organic matter to build their own physical mass, so one fastball special later, and the nasty creature ends up killing itself by trying to eat Deadpool over and over again, in doing so only poisoning itself. Wow, cancer saved the day, how about that? Those are words I really did not think I would ever say. Can you believe I get paid to do this? With the threat ended, X-Force ends up taking their leave, Forge already getting word about their next mission, which will be taking them all the way to Wakanda. But wait, who is the shadowy figure who's watching Forge and his team from afar? Well, I guess we'll have to pick up the next issue to find out, won't we? And so that was X-Force issue number 1, everybody, and I thought Jeffrey Thorne managed to offer up a fun and exciting, action-packed little X-Men story here. I'm sure it could not have been easy coming into this book after Benjamin Percy wrote it longer than just about anyone else. And while the last series was a lot of dark and oppressive cloak and dagger spy stuff, this one returns to a more familiar, high-octane, almost A-Team-esque take on Mutant-Kind's favorite Strike Force. I especially enjoy that Forge actually gets to be the main character now. I think his multimedia pop culture profile has grown a lot thanks to X-Men 97, and I'm glad to see the comics here actively trying to run with it. Also, while all the other From Ashes X-Men books at their heart are about Mutant-Kind trying to make sense of this crazy topsy-turvy world they've been thrown back into after the loss of their nation. Here, though, Forge and his team are taking a lot more of an offensive and a lot less defensive approach to trying to get back on their feet and reintegrate themselves into the rest of the world. I like the mix of the members of the team. It's a lot of classic X-Force members, some new ones thrown in for flavor. The art team is really solid too. I think this one's got a lot of potential. I'll be interested to see where it goes from here. Overall, I would give this one a very positive 8 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.